I rise like the sun sometimes, but then I fall. Like a black moon, I rise when the night falls. When the night falls, the mic calls, so listen, it's the ultraviolet rays that keep me rising on the mission.
What up, hype beast? You already know who it is. Your boy Lucrecio coming at you with another NBA update video. Come on now. Did you guys think I was going to miss a day? Did you really think I was about to miss a day? Absolutely not. So today's news is about Kawhi Leonard. Okay, so Kawhi Leonard has been big in the news today, and the Clippers have been kind of talking about, their plans to acquire Kawhi Leonard this offseason. So we found out earlier today from Brian Windhorst that the Clippers all year long have been sending representatives to the games, to the Toronto Raptors games, whether it's scouts or whatever the case may be. I'm sure it's not to scout Kawhi Leonard. He's been in the NBA for a while. I'm sure it's to scout whatever perceived relationship that he's having with the Clippers officials and front office and stuff that they could possibly observe at the games or whatever. But the Clippers have intel following Kawhi Leonard from game to game to game to try to gauge his happiness or his level of satisfaction with the Raptors. Very, very interesting. The espionage is real in the NBA. I just thought this was a very, very interesting thing to do for the Clippers. I know the Clippers want Kawhi Leonard. I know the Clippers are talking about they want Kevin Durant. They're freeing up 2 max contracts or whatever this offseason to try to see if they can get both of them. I think it's tough. I think it's going to be tough for the Clippers. Number one, you're not the Lakers. Now, I know the Clippers are trying to escape from the Lakers' shadow. They're going to soon not even be playing in the Staples Center anymore because they're moving to Inglewood pretty soon. But I think it's possible Kawhi Leonard may choose there, but it's going to be very hard for the Clippers, man. Kawhi Leonard with the Raptors right now. The Raptors are so into Kawhi Leonard, they're purposely sitting him out strategically in certain games so that he doesn't have to do his media obligations and answer questions about the Clippers and answer questions about his free agency and things of that nature. But so Toronto obviously is taking a huge interest in him, as they should. I mean, he's one of the best players in the NBA. There's a tie, 2 and 3, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant. To me, they're about equal. That may be controversial, but to me, they're about equal or whatever. Toronto is currently the number 1 team in the league. Toronto's better than Golden State. Toronto's better than OKC. Toronto's better than everybody right now. They're the number 1 team overall in the league. They could rule over the East for the foreseeable future. I know people talk about Boston this and Boston that and all this stuff or whatever. Toronto could rule the East if Kawhi Leonard wanted to stay there. I've been saying that since the beginning of the year. As good as Philly is, as good as Boston is, as good as the Greek Freak and Milwaukee Bucks is, if Kawhi Leonard's in with the Raptors, they're going to rule the East. They have Kyle Lowry, which I know some of you don't like Kyle Lowry, and I understand or whatever, but it's not even just about Kyle Lowry. Have you seen that bench in Toronto? Toronto has real legit players coming off the bench playing together as a unit and taking pride in playing together as the unit and being the best bench in the NBA. Now, that is something. If you're a bench player in the NBA or a bench player in your rec league or whatever, your work league, your intramural team or whatever, your goal is to, continue to get better, to become a starter, to replace the starter eventually or whatever. If you have a bench that is completely content with being the best and their goal is to be the best bench in the NBA and give team after team all year long trouble or whatever. Remember last year, the Raptors played against the Cavaliers. LeBron had to play most of his minutes against the bench because they knew that's where the trouble was going to happen. The starters could try to match wits with Toronto starters. That's no problem. But when the starters go out and the bench and Toronto's bench come in, they're going to kick every team's butts bench. So that is serious. That is a big deal for Toronto. So they're the number 1 team in the NBA. They can rule over the East. And as long as Toronto is like one of those top seeds in the East every year and possibly having the best record in the NBA, as long as they're doing that year after year after year, Kawhi Leonard's name is going to be – he may win MVP this year. Honestly, he's my pick for MVP this year. Now, I think it's going to hurt him two things are going to hurt him. One, LeBron turned a losing team that has been losing for the foreseeable, for as long as I remember, for a while now. It's turned them to a top 4 seed in the Western Conference. That's a big deal. And he's also still averaging his 28, 7, and 7 or whatever. That's going to be a big deal. It's going to be tough to overcome that. That's the story of the year. So he is going to make a strong push for MVP this year. Okay? So that's one outcome. And also Kawhi Leonard has been sitting out back-to-backs and stuff like that. When you miss a lot of games, not a lot, but when you miss like 10 games or whatever in the season, that hurts you in MVP voting. So for that reason, I think this year he may not win. But the MVP is the best player on the best team. So he very well may win the MVP this year. Very well may win the MVP this year. Toronto puts him in a very good position to be a top player in the NBA. We're always going to be talking about him versus Kevin Durant for the next years to come. If Kevin Durant goes to the East next year, goes to New York Knicks next year, Kawhi Leonard and the Raptors will own the Knicks, and you will see it. So the Raptors, Kawhi with the Raptors puts him in a very, very good position. Okay, but the Clippers are up there, though. The Clippers are up there. First of all, they're having a great season, even without a star. They got Tobias Harris, and he's balling out. But they're having a great season. They have players who haven't been considered, good or great players who are playing above the expectation, which is wonderful. Once again, very good for the Clippers. It's going to be very interesting, though. I just don't think the Clippers you don't have that lore. It's not the Lakers. You don't have LeBron on the team and stuff like that. If LeBron is in LA, any other team in LA is going to take a backseat to LeBron. Even if you have Kawhi Leonard, even if you have great players or whatever, it's going to be tough. So I just don't see, especially with the way the Raptors are looking. And then also with Kawhi Leonard in Canada playing for Toronto, it kind of shields him from some of all the media, and Kawhi Leonard don't look like he likes that type of stuff anyway. Kind of shields him a little bit from all the media and all the headlines. And if he has a bad game, it's all over First Take and all over all these stupid shows, all the stupid debate shows and all that stuff. He doesn't get that same type of treatment. He can quietly go about his business and dominate the NBA in Canada and not have to hear anything about it. With the Clippers, not so much, man. He's not going to have that same effect. In San Antonio, he kind of had that where he could fly under the radar, dominate, fly under the radar, or whatever. Canada, he has that same thing. You don't have to worry about the nonsense, but he can still get his shoe deals. He can still be considered one of the best players. You can't leave him out of the conversation, but he doesn't have to deal with the nonsense. So I think it's going to be tough for him to leave the Raptors. First of all, I think the Raptors are a very good landing spot for him. I think it's going to be very tough for him to leave the Raptors. But if he leaves the Raptors, I find it very, very difficult to believe that he's really going to go to the Clippers. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Do you think Kawhi Leonard is going to the Clippers this offseason? And if he's not going to the Clippers, where is he going? Let me know down below in the comment section. And as always, I'll see you next time.